What is up, dude?
Video
We
pod,
made
bro.
it.
We
Mama,
did
we
make it,
made
bro.
it, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm pumped.
Stoked.
I think this probably couldn't have turned out much better, to be honest, man. Like, I know we got that little baby camera out there, but it looks pretty fire.
Dude, yeah, like I was saying, the camera looked pretty funny on
It's
there.
funny.
But, I mean, dude, it's perfect, bro. That's all we need, bro.
Yeah.
We can cook.
You can see
We can cook.
off screen while I'm looking at the freaking screen of the camera,
Yeah.
and it looks pretty good. So,
Dude, it looks fantastic, bro.
dude, of course, got the
Cooking.
yes, sir.
Absolutely cooking, bro.
Of course, you got Marvin just running routes.
Which is kind of what he does for most of the game.
Yeah, that's one of his 2 catches of the game, I believe, or 3 catches of the game.
My fantasy team felt that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we played this week. We played this week, and bro dropped 160, and didn't have Nico Collins or Puka Nacua. Wild.
I'm gonna let you do the talking, brother.
I mean,
talk
it's
it for
it's
me.
more so just depressing, bro. I had Jaden Reed, Marvin Harrison, and then somebody else. I don't remember who exactly. All like 5 or less points, bro. I got destroyed.
Yeah, Jaden had a quiet game. Who else?
Dropped a pass. He had a pass like I don't remember. It was like second half or before halftime or whatever. But he had a pass where it was like 30 yards. Dropped it, going to the ground. So, you know, bro, they're people too, bro. Can't expect them to be perfect all the time. But you know what? I feel good about my team. I'll see you later, bro, in the season.
Yeah, we'll see, brother. If you make playoffs,
Bro, stop
talking
it,
that
bro.
shit,
I'm
bro.
3 right now.
I'm joking.
My boy Joey Millsap's number 2, and then you're 1 right now. So we're top 3, bro. We're chilling.
What do you? I mean, hold on. Let me see top point totals in the league.
I think you're 1 now after this week. I was 1 last week though.
Yeah, it goes me, you. I'm at 881. You're at 849, and then the next highest
Yep.
is. Oh my god, dude, who's my DK Ertz?
That's my I guess brother-in-law, because not technically brother-in-law, but I'll call him a brother-in-law, David, girlfriend's sister's husband. Yeah,
Girlfriend,
Brother-in-law.
sister's husband.
his name's David. Big
Yeah.
Raiders fan. I'm sorry, my boy. It'll get better. Team's not bad. QB is though.
The reason I pointed him out, he has 800 and he has only 1 point less than you scored.
Yeah,
And he's 2-5,
Yeah, I know.
Which
We
is-
talked about it, man.
which is crazy.
I was telling him, I'm like, dude, your team's not bad, but the record doesn't show it. So I mean, just it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes,
I
bro, and
guess,
it's just
bro.
unfortunate.
He's got Love. Oh, he's got Henry, DK, Jay Jettas.
Dude,
Actually, it's low-key good.
he's got a good team. I was telling him that when I saw him, man. I'm like, damn, dude.
It's not
Too
bad
bad
at
he
all.
couldn't win some of these games.
Yeah.
This was a goofy ass play, bro.
What the hell? Yeah, that was.
Looney Tune play. Anyway, bro.
Yeah,
we got
bro.
the games from week 7, bro. Go ahead and tell them our records, bro, in terms of our picks, man, because it was not pretty this last week, bro.
Man, so we came into the week, a little recap, 47-29 and 36-40, right? After this week,
Damn, man.
just take a guess what you're at. Take a guess.
I think I had I had to have like 2 or 3 wins, bro. I'm feeling like Jim Caldwell.
2.
Yeah, no,
3,
dude. I had a
4.
abominable week 7 picks.
5, 6.
How many? No, dude, you're lying. Why are you still counting, bro? Are you still counting mine or are you counting yours? You got to be counting yours because I know I didn't get into 7, 8, right?
You got 7.
What? No way, bro.
You got the
I
Broncos.
thought I had like 3, bro.
You got the Broncos.
Patriots had me so messed up, bro.
Yeah, what were you thinking, bro? I
You
don't
picked them too, bro. What do you mean? What,
No,
do you mean, what was I
we.
thinking?
We. What were we thinking, bro?
I
Should've
mean,
asked.
Dude, well, I mean, that's a second game, so we'll talk about what we're thinking. But I mean, do you want to just start with the first game, that Broncos
Start with
Saints?
Thursday night game. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm still figuring shit out.
Because bro, that
First-
was my lock of the week. I felt great about that, dude. Our locks this week cooked. I mean, you were 0 for 4 in locks before this, bro. So
anything was better than that shit. So
yeah, so we hit on our locks this week. That was good. That's what's up. But Broncos, I mean, the Saints, dude, they just, I don't know if they can hang with like most of the league right now just because of all the injuries they have.
they're banged up.
Yeah, it's just all those injuries really just sunk their season. I don't really even know what to say about him at this point. It's just Spencer Rattler. He looks like a late round QB. Arm talent is evident. You know, like there's a reason why he was the number one QB coming out of high school into college, went to Oklahoma at first, and the reason why he was the number one recruit. But it's just they're trying so hard to protect him with the play calling because of all the injuries in the interior and then all the injuries at receiver. And then Kamara's just, they're feeding him, but there's only so much you can do. And I mean, basically getting shut out, 3 points, really, going into the fourth quarter. And then they end up putting in Jake Hayner or whatever his name is.
I think it's something like
honestly,
that.
He kind of looked, I thought he looked a little better. I know there's a whole like, oh, it's end of the game, garbage time. But honestly, I think he looked a little bit better and more competent than Spencer did. Spencer's a rookie, yeah, but I mean, there's just something missing in his game to where they don't drop him back and pass. They have him on the move a bunch to try to protect him with play calling. And then also, too, it's just he was chucking it straight to the defenders in certain plays, like hitting the linebacker in the face. I had him to throw a pick that game. I was mad at 55, bro. I was mad at, what is his name? Broncos linebacker, dude. I don't remember his name. I was mad at him, though, dude. He dropped that. He blew my parlay, bro.
That was, I don't know how that was a pick or not a pick, bro.
Oh, no, you're talking about the where it got knocked out of his arm and then it got tipped up, caught, and then ran back for a touchdown.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
How is that not? Unless
I don't know. I was pretty upset, bro, and all the people in the Streamies chat were as well. You mean you could pull up the play right now, but I mean it's just
this is my first time doing this, so give me a break, people.
yeah, no, it's cool. If you can't get it, bro, too, we're not tripping because I mean I think everybody saw it that actually watched the game, and I think the majority of people did. So it's just the Broncos, man. They look competent, even despite the lack of talent in some areas without Surtain. I think the team overall just looks very competent, which is kind of a reflection of the coaching that they have with Vance Joseph and Sean Payton. So been kind of impressed with them, honestly, throughout the season.
Do you remember what quarter it was?
I think it was midway or towards the end of the third quarter.
In the third quarter, gotcha.
It was the last touchdown they scored, so you can just skip to where you see 30 points, bro, and then you'll go ahead. And
it was 30 points.
It was the last touchdown they had, I believe.
SOS.
I mean, that's just shows you exactly what was going on in this game. But I mean, Javonte Williams, man, showed out. I think that he's looked good for a couple of games now. This play, dude. I don't know how it wasn't a pick. I was pretty upset that it wasn't, man. Give me my $50. That was a pick. But yeah, dude. Oh, Cody Barton. Yeah, that's who it was. This play, dude. His arm was going forward. I don't care that he got hit. His arm was going forward. That's a pick, bro.
How legitimately? How is that not? I went back a little bit too far, but
yeah, I mean, it's just
technical difficulties in the first.
All right. But yeah, bro. I mean, either way though. The front seven for the Broncos is impressive. I think the secondary is a little bit thin. I think that Javonte Williams, they seem to have a bit of an identity on offense with him in the QB run game as well. Bo Nix is able to run more than I thought he was. But like I've been saying for weeks, though, I think that he looks like a young Trubisky out there. I think that that's who I see when I watch him play. I feel like I'm watching Trubisky's career over again with better coaching.
Yeah. I just think they kind of threw him to the dogs, bro. Like, Rather had zero help. We talked about.
That team is just toast.
Bub Means was their wideout one. He was going to Mason Tipton a lot. I think it's just because he's had a lot of reps with him, like at second and third team reps. You know,
yeah, it doesn't even really matter for them.
But it's just like
these guys that they had.
They just signed Kamara to an extension too, so it was like right after this game, I was like, damn, they really tried to lock up Kamara. Like, dude, you're actually staying here for 2 more years. Don't worry about what happened on Thursday night. It was kind of like, we'll pay you to kind of like mind control and like.
Yeah.
You don't remember Thursday night.
He fits.
It never happened.
He fits the team, and he fits like the Saints, and he is like their face of the franchise right now, basically. You know, I like the defense, and I like the way that they showed up early on, but it's just they can't stop the run now. They're getting banged up. I think they're looking at the offense and just like, we have no shot. I think the buy-in, team belief is gone. We're going to be on watch for seeing if Dennis Allen gets fired midseason and maybe they get this OC a shot at coaching the team.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just man, it's just in a spiral ever since that Chiefs game, dude. I mean, they came into that game banged up and left even more banged up, and then you got Paulson Adebo breaking his femur, bro. Like, dude, that's just tragic, dude. Such a good, young, talented player. And to see him have such a serious injury is horrible.
Everyone I feel like got hurt this week. I feel like this is the week more than other
We're
weeks
only in
of
week 7.
injuries. I know, but
We're
like
only in week 7, man.
this week specifically, I felt like there were like Ayuk went down. I know Gardeck is not the first person that comes to everyone's mind, but he tore his ACL in the Monday night
The
game.
Barbarian.
The Barbarian, obviously. Come on. And then Adebo, Godwin.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing people too, but like Mike Evans got freaking his hammy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of injuries this week.
There's been a ton of injuries, bro, and I don't know. I mean, teams' depths are being tested more than I think previous years. It feels like a lot of backup QBs played last year, which was like a noteworthy thing. But I mean, we're just looking at this season, and it's just like there's gonna be so many backups, and it's really just gonna be about depth come the end of the season and who's the healthiest maybe for some teams.
That's the biggest thing is health going to the playoffs.
Yes.
Like you can have the best team of all time, but if you're not healthy, if you're banged up, Saints are. You were talking. I think everyone after week 2 was like, dude, Saints are low-key like on the right track, and then all of a sudden they get hit with the freaking injury bug to the max.
The interior O-line falling apart was it.
It's tragic, bro.
And then Taysom Hill getting hurt. You're losing your red zone weapon.
Rashid Shaheed,
And then
Olave
Shaheed.
concussions.
Yeah, it's just, dude, spiral.
It's snowballing.
We'll see if this OC gets a shot at being a head coach and maybe gets like a trial run at being a head coach and maybe they give him the job next year. I think this team's kind of losing. Dennis Allen's kind of losing him a little bit.
Yeah, which I don't know if is that really justified though. Like,
no, it's not. But that's just the way it goes.
It's
though.
just
When
the
you're
NFL,
losing teams and you're getting beat 33-3 going into the end of the game, you're gonna see. I mean, the Broncos team, they've won some games. They're not very talented. Like they're overachieving because of the coaching they have, and like that's impressive. But at the same time, too, you're at home. You cannot get boat raced like that. And I think if you keep seeing that, like we're seeing from them, they're gonna lose. He's gonna lose the team.
Yeah.
If he hasn't already.
Yeah, I'm with you. Are you good with this game?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Let's move on. Patriots Jags. My boy Brian Thomas showed out.
Does it all
in London. He
He's does it
legit,
all.
bro. He's legit. He had a quiet.
Yeah.
He had a quiet. Who they play last week? Jags in London. Who they play?
The Bears, bro.
Bears. That's right. He had a really bad drop. Yeah, that was bad.
Yes, sir.
Bears took it to him that week, but Brian Thomas, the run game. I think they ran it on one drive. We were talking about it. 15
Talking about run
straight
game
times.
to Bigsby.
Yeah, because ETN was out, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigsby 8. I think they handed the ball off to him 15 straight times over the course of like 2 drives. I think, just to kill clock in the fourth quarter. But it wasn't like. Obviously, if they run the ball 15 times on a drive, they're going to have to get first downs because obviously 4 downs. But he was breaking like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-yard runs every single time. And it was like the Patriots, I feel like they're just kind of helpless. Like we can put up as many guys as we can on the line. We're not stopping the run, which is got to be the most demoralizing feeling of all time. Putting all the bodies up there and still not being able to do it.
Maybe it's kind of soft.
He took it to him after the game. He was pissed, and I like Drake. I like from what I've seen from Drake May in terms of interviews and on the field too.
Yep.
I think he has a real shot to be like, okay, like this guy actually might be he has definitely the leadership skills of a quarterback. You know what I mean?
He's been impressive to me too with his aggression and composure. I didn't think that being such a young man and being like coming from a school like North Carolina. I mean, we've seen QBs come out of North Carolina, 2 of them specifically that are noteworthy, and composure was not part of their game really. So seeing Drake May come out, be kind of different. He looks like Justin Herbert to me, like when I'm watching him, to where it's like he can run. He's big. He's got athletic ability. He's not Josh Allen. He's kind of more Justin Herbert to where he can run a little bit. It's a little untapped. Hope he keeps doing that. Just kind of like hang in there because this O-line for them, man, trenches on both sides of the ball. They have to fix that in the offseason because, I mean, that O-line, dude, it's just they can't sustain drives. They can't establish an identity on offense. After the first, 2 weeks of them kind of getting away with the whole we're going to blow people off the ball with Ramondre, they've kind of struggled since then trying to establish the run, be able to have an identity on offense, and no way. What we got?
Bro, the AI's been tracking. No way.
It's locking in.
Why was it doing that? All right. Y'all
Maybe it's because I went like that.
Oh, yeah. That does zoom in. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that is
I threw up the L. I threw up the L for the Jags against the Bears last week. Sorry, camera. But yeah, I threw up the L for them because they deserved that after last week. But I mean,
I did not think that I was actually like gonna work.
yeah, bro, that was pretty good. Sorry, AI. But yeah, bro, Patriots trenches, both sides of the ball. Gotta fix it in the offseason. Christian Barmore, I don't think he's playing still. He had that heart issue or whatever, blood clots or whatever.
He got arrested too.
Oh,
You saw that
really?
video?
No.
He got arrested and was like giving the cops shit and like just being a dickhead about it. It was like, dude, just fucking. It was just like bro's just on like off-season quests during mid-season
quests.
Yeah. So I don't know, getting arrested and shit, but
unfortunate.
yeah. Really not much to say about this game.
Bigsby, like we talked about him last week,
Yeah.
26 carries this week. They fed him, and like they need to do that if they want to have any kind of identity in offense, be able to say, we're going to feed our young back that doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires to be able to actually establish an identity, stop us. And then we have the over-the-top playmakers with, I think that Evan Ingram can get down there. We know BTJ does it all for them. And then what's it called? Gabe Davis is also has a lot of athletic ability to be able to get down the field as well. So,
yeah.
I mean, their offense, not bad. And you're going against an offensive line with their defense that is struggling with the Patriots. I made some plays, But I think just I don't think this is any kind of indication that they're going to be making the playoffs or anything like that. I think the team, when Gerard Mayo's calling his team soft, it's because they got whipped up by a soft team.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think the Patriots know that they're in a rebuild. They know that they don't have pieces, the talent to go and make a run right now to the playoffs.
It's a bunch of guys that are there that are probably not going to be there for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while for Gerard Mayo to get his guys in there. Like we talk about that with turnover of roster turnover. It doesn't happen over one season. It's a multiple off-season thing where you're like, okay, this old regime, who here fits what I want to do? And you don't really get to see that unless you go out and play a season of football. You know what I mean? It's tough to kind of replicate that and see in practice what those guys are capable of. You're seeing it going 1-6 now, who can do it and who cannot do it. And there should be if I had to guess, Patriots are probably going to have one of the top team roster turnover rates in the league next year just because Mayo's probably going to be going through and just being like, hey, you can't do it. We saw last year. We got fucking whooped up by the London Jaguars.
London Jaguars.
At Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I'm not doing that anymore. So we'll see. Tank is just a beast, bro. He's a beast.
He's different than last year. Like when I watched him coming out, I don't remember what college he came out of. It wasn't UCLA. It was something like those colors. I can't recall off the top of my head what college he came out of. But when he was coming out of college last year, like I kind of scouted him a little bit, just check him out, and I didn't see this type of explosion from him or physicality in his game last year. It was Auburn, I think he came from. Yeah, and
could you see my phone screen? Damn.
No, I remember.
That was good.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, I scouted him last year though, and like I didn't really, cause I've been playing fantasy football. I want to find all the gems and everything like that. And I know they had ETN, but I wanted to see this guy that people are kind of talking up. And yeah, I didn't really see this kind of explosion in tone setting running to his game last year. And he's just, I don't know what he did in his offseason, but he definitely changed up the way that he prepares athletically because he looks like a different player.
He does look different, and it's very obvious to see. Like, you're talking about it. Like, what was Tank's offseason thing? He just looks more like twitchy, aggressive. He's running with authority now, so.
David Montgomery did that from year 1 to year 2 as well, to where I kind of, it kind of stood out to me. It stood out to me as well for like David Montgomery from his year 1 to year 2. There was like a jump in speed and burst, to where like Tanks Bigsby, I don't know what he did in his offseason, but he looks like he's done something similar.
Yeah, I'm with you. Are you good with this game?
Yes, sir, I am.
There's
not really much to say about Trevor.
Yeah, it's just,
I feel like he kind of is who he is right now. And, I mean, I don't really think that he's going to ever get into the elite category. But, I mean, he's probably like mid-tier. He's hanging around that Kirk Cousins level.
Yeah, little below that.
A little below that, but he's hanging around there, I feel.
I just think there's some moments like last week. He didn't play great, but it was also like drops were a huge problem. And I feel like, I don't know why. I just feel like, does he not throw a catchable ball? Like, what's going on?
When we talk about the Steelers, Russell Wilson, the way he like floats the ball, it makes it very catchable, because it's a soft pass to where they can adjust to it. It hangs in the air, and also too, it's not so fired in there so hard to where like his receivers are just hitting, it's bouncing off their hands. There is something to how the QB does throw the ball when they throw it with touch, and they give it a softer pass to the receiver to make them be able to adjust to it and track it better. So it's just there's something to that. Russell Wilson throws a very catchable football. I don't know if Trevor does. It's like Colin Kaepernick. I felt like Colin Kaepernick, the way he had just strong arm and he would sling the ball in there, but it's like you can fire it, fit tight windows, but it's also at the same time too, you're making it really tough on these receivers and you're not giving them the best opportunity.
Yeah, that's another thing with Josh Allen is like those guys have to basically learn how to catch a whole different type of pass because he just has a cannon for arm.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm good with this game though. Let's move on.
Agreed.
What was the next game on this list? We got Lions Vikings. Hell of a game. I had faith in the Lions, brother. I had faith. I just thought that
Gibbs looked good.
Gibbs, that run he had, I'm gonna pull it up now that instead of me trying to describe it. But let me know what you think while I get this pulled up.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of talking about this a couple weeks ago with like the Vikings defense. You have to be able to attack the seams against them. You have to be able to run the ball. I thought the Jets would be able to run the ball against them. That didn't happen. And then also too, it's just they get after the QB, but Goff stood in there and he delivered the passes to those receivers in under crazy amounts of pressure that the Vikings put him under. But it's just the composure of Goff this game, their ability to run the ball. He hit Amon-Ra on the seam for the touchdown. These corners, they play a lot of like cover 3, or they're playing some kind of yes, I know that play right there. They're playing zones where they're looking at the quarterback. They're kind of playing outside leverage, and if you can hit a pass in the seam, hang in the pocket, and hit the seams are there versus this defense. But a lot of the time, the QBs aren't having time to get the ball there or let the receiver get downfield.
Look at Look at this thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Him. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That shit was disgusting, bro. Am ran his girl out.
This makes it look easy.
Man, watch this replay.
He's special for sure.
Watch this replay, bro.
Him and Montgomery in the backfield, just like the Sonic and Knuckles combo, like they talk about, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, done.
That was nasty. But I'm totally with you about the seams and like there are openings to attack this defense, right? They are very aggressive. There are definitely holes in this defense, but it's if you can hang on and have that half second of pass protection, it's the difference between you getting lit the fuck up and you throwing a pick or you throwing a touchdown. I mean, it's such a spectrum that Brian Flores wants to play. Like we're literally living and dying by the way that they're playing football right now. And you saw this week they were shaky early, right? Goff I think got sacked at minimum once, maybe twice on the first drive, and it was like, oh, here we go again. Vikings are going to put it on. That's how I thought the game was going to go. And then all of a sudden, Monty went down, and Gibbs had a huge day running on the outside, catching the football, and that Amon-Ra touchdown was a thing of beauty too. Just protect him long enough to get that ball off, you know?
Have to be able to hang in the pocket and be composed. And, I mean, the thing is, though, is that it's not like, okay, the Vikings, Sam Darnold, he came back down to earth. It's like he played a good game, you know. Like I thought he played a really clean game for the most part. He had one interception, I believe. But overall, I mean, this Lions team looks like the team that we picked to be the Super Bowl champions this year. This looks like the Lions team that we picked, and they didn't have Hutchinson. They might trade for somebody. You know what I'm saying,
minute, bro. Took a minute.
It took a minute, yeah. But it's just like this is what we expected to see coming out of the gate, you know. And now that they're about 7 weeks in and they're looking like that, we might be looking kind of smart. I mean, a lot of people like the Lions this year. It's no secret, you know. But I mean, this is the team that we were expecting coming out of the gate.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think this is the team that when we looked at the preview pieces they're bringing back, the additions on the O-line, obviously the 1-2 punch, Sonic, Knuckles, whatever.
Yeah.
J-Mo got suspended for 2 games for PEDs. That was so random.
Not gambling this time.
I know. I feel like that doesn't ever happen. Like mid-season, there's PED ban. And he's just going to come back week, what is it?
We'll be back by like week 10, I think.
Yeah, week
10.
Yeah, week 8, 9, 10. So week 10, he's be like, oh, back like I never left. But what was he cheating this game? Like, well, how does that really work? Because I feel like PEDs are kind of something that, and why did they test him?
I think there's like some kind of, they do randomized testing. I also think that they do certain points of the years they test for things like that. I remember Larry Fitzgerald talking about it years ago about, for like example, they would test for marijuana like every time the same year. And it's like there's certain times here they test for certain things. There's also random tests they do. But I mean, it like PEDs can be something simple as a supplement they have just banned. It could be something very simple. It's not all like, oh, he's doing steroids. It's not 100% that. There's certain supplements that are banned by the NFL that like players may have. There was an issue with Edelman a couple years ago where he had, for his ACL recovery, they gave him a certain shot, and in that shot had a substance that was banned by the NFL. So then he got suspended for like 4 games because of it.
Huh. That also brings up another example of not knowingly taking like steroids. Khalil Roundtree just fought Alex Pereira. His last fight for the UFC was, I think it was supposed to be Jamal Hill, and coming up to the fight, he was taking a bunch of supplements he got from a doctor, right? So these doctors prescribe him all the supplements, the perfect amount for each thing, kind of like a meal plan but for supplements. Yeah. And apparently the doctors were feeding him something that was illegal and banned by the UFC. Unknowingly to him, he wasn't taking freaking shooting up steroids in his veins, being all jacked. But that's just a great point because it can happen when you're not even trying to. So I wonder what happened with J-Mo.
You could have a trainer or a nutritionist that gives you something that they would naturally give to people, and it just happens to be a banned substance or it contains a banned substance, and then you get tested randomly, and all of a sudden you're missing 2 games.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny because all these people in the comments of the videos were like, J-Mo put up 0.6 points and then got randomly drug tested. Like, what are the odds? But like, even if he did do it, just he got 6 yards. Apparently, it's not doing that much.
Yeah, man.
So funny.
I think there's times where it's like when Jawan Jennings went for 140 and 3 touchdowns. It's like, test this man, But it's like, I mean, I think they just have randomized tests where you just got to make sure that you're on top of your nutrition and make sure you're on top of certain things, and it just happens to be a random one that got him.
Yeah. But more about this game, I just think defensively the Lions up front, they let up points, right? But this Vikings, it's a high octane offense, right? And they have a bunch of guys that can make plays. Like they have the best receiver in the league. Jordan Addison's a dog. Hawkinson was back. Like it was a lot to handle, and I think they did a pretty good job relative to what the Vikings look like against other teams.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Brian Branch is a freaking stud. I was talking about that with Hayden. Shout out Hayden. Hopefully you're on the pod next week. Oh, look at that timing. Look at that timing. Yeah, bro. Bro's a dog, bro. Like, that is a crazy
I think
play.
he's funny for, like, having the mouthpiece hanging out of his helmet that he always puts in there. You know about that, right?
No.
He's got that green mouthpiece that he puts in his helmet. I don't know why he does that. I don't remember him saying why he does it, but he does it, and it's kind of funny. But it's just I've liked him since he came out of Bama. Yeah, I think he's a great matchup piece. You talk about safeties and DBs. You want to be able to be versatile when they're playing safety or nickel, and he can do either one. And he's just a matchup piece for certain situations. And he's turning the ball over he's getting a lot of turnovers this year for the Lions. So he's been a big player for them on the secondary.
Yeah. I was just so impressed by how the Lions were able to keep their heads after going down and clawing back and sticking to their game plan, because they could have easily panicked. And I feel like a lot of teams, like when they get behind against the Vikings, that's when the Vikings can take advantage of them, because that means they're dropping back passing. And when you're predictable for a defense that is this aggressive and will send guys 8 dudes on play and just be like, hey, try to beat us. Try to beat us in 1.5 seconds. You know what I mean? I was just impressed that the Lions were able to kind of keep their heads on straight, stay focused, and what a kick to end the game too. That guy from what was it?
I don't know where he's from. Wearing 39.
UFL or
he's
whatever?
wearing 39 though for a kicker, so he's obviously not a big name.
Yeah, UFL I think, or the Rock League, whatever that is.
The Rock League.
Yeah,
the Rock League.
The Rock
That's
League.
actually hilarious.
But
I think Dan Campbell's gonna win Coach of the Year this year. I think the Vikings team is still gonna win 11 games. They're not going anywhere. Sam Darnold is playing really well. That offensive line pass protects well. They got depth at running back now, bringing in Cam Akers to where you can at least still maintain offense if anything happens to Aaron Jones. Pass game is going to be good. Defensively, I mean, it's Brian Flores' defense. He's going to be head coach next year. Like this is just a really good matchup between two really good teams, and I mean that's what most NFC North matchups are going to be this year.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yes, sir. Great game.
You good with this game or no?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Bet we'll go to Titans-Bills. Shaky early for the Bills, but they figured it out.
Were you stressing at any point having this be your lock of the week, knowing how you were 0-4 with the locks? Coming into this game, seeing them down like 10-0, were you stressing at all?
No. I
was going to text you. I was going to text you when the game was going on.
I was actually thinking about live betting the
money line.
The money line. Because
get good value at that point.
Yeah. The value at that point was probably, I didn't check it obviously, but
it was probably still minus 100 something.
Yeah, but better than minus 425, which it was before the game. So yeah, I never was really in dismay about this game. I just thought it was like Amari Cooper. I guess one thing I was going to talk about on the pod was one thing guarantee is every new receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, just got traded to the Chiefs this morning. I guarantee he's going to drop his first pass. That just seems like the wave, I guess. Amari Cooper freaking hits him in the chest or hits him in the hands the first pass. Josh throws it to him. If I was Josh, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck was that?
If only we could bet DeAndre Hopkins' first catch to be a drop in the next game.
Imagine that was an individual prop. That would be sick.
That would be sick.
But
hammer that.
Yeah, hammer DeAndre Hopkins' first
target being a drop.
Yeah. But sorry, it's early, but yeah, I just think this Bills team has all of the pieces on offense around Josh Allen that I didn't think they were going to have coming to this season. I think Shakir as like that little slot guy, kind of converting third downs I talked about in the pod last week. Keon Coleman, big outside guy. I called Amari Cooper being in the slot more and them kind of moving him around, even though he's a true X. His touchdown was off the slot.
Yeah.
Didn't really know the play, but that's what Keon Coleman's there for. You see that interview after the
I did see. I saw the play, yeah.
Yeah, it was I think either Amari Cooper didn't know the play or he was trying to verify with Keon Coleman, like, am I supposed to do this?
He didn't know the play. You can see, like, Josh made an audible at the line, and he didn't know the audible. So he looked over to Keon and gave him the what the F hands, and then Keon gave him the route. He literally just, like, to the post, dog. And then he just ran a post.
Yeah.
Scored. Easy.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of direction.
He literally just
that's
say less.
Mad funny. But yeah, I just think yeah, I totally lost where I was going with that. But Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's just a perfect piece they needed to add. I'm a big Ray Davis guy. He got
Ray
going
Davis
late.
looks great.
James Cook, I think when he gets fully healthy, this offense is going to be a pain to stop because you always have the threat of Josh Allen running, right? And then you have two very good backs behind him to complement him, as well as three receivers that can 100% win their matchups on the outside. You got Khalil basically winning the route, just routing people up. You got Amari Cooper as a high-end 2, borderline 1, that you don't really need they don't really need a true 1 for this team. But yeah, James Cook looked great. Ray Davis looked great. Yeah, I would not be surprised. My top 4 teams, AFC right now, I think unquestioned. Let me know what you think. Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Texans. That's my top 4.
And then everyone else.
Yeah, it's a pretty far drop off after that, but
I mean, the Steelers can pull an upset. I feel like.
Yeah, they're probably at 5.
I feel like they can pull an upset. I think, but I just think that there's a tier gap behind those 4 teams.
Those are S tier. Everyone else is like A tier.
B.
Yeah. Honestly,
B. There's a gap.
There's definitely a gap.
Yeah, QB. Right. Like all those teams. What do they have? QB. You know.
Starts the quarterback, bro.
And I mean, all of them too. Defense. Yeah. QB, defense. Figure everything else out. You know, I think that with the Bills, in a game like this where the Texans don't really have much pass rush and ability to – this is the thing. When Josh Allen's playing a team that doesn't have a lot of big physical athletes that can get after him and get him on the ground, he just toys with these defenses. He's a different level of athlete. He's like Cam Newton when he's just different caliber of athlete than the guys he's going against on defense. So it's like when you can't get him on the ground and he's able to extend plays, and now he's starting to develop some chemistry with a guy like Keon Coleman where he's able to scramble drill, get open, get into space. Josh will see you, get you the ball, run after catch. Yeah. You know, I think that's a thing that we're starting to see with this Bills team, that they're able to have some chemistry on these scramble drill type of plays, to where this is something that's going to be pretty dangerous come postseason time, you know. So yeah. I think it's really important for them to have a guy like Ray Davis, to where he's a change of pace back. He has a little bit more physical tone to his game than a guy like James Cook does, so that's important for them. But yeah. I think it's a perfect fit with him. And then just this defense, like the year over year, just consistently good. You know, it's like they're not like elite. They're not like the Seahawks and with the Legion of Boom, but they're consistently top 10. Like consistently top 10. Like it's Doug McDermott, you know, and I'm very impressed by them to do that year over year. I had written down like the Bills, Niners, Chiefs, every year consistently defensive competency, and it keeps them afloat even with all the injuries, with figuring things out on offense. They're hanging in games because their defense is competent every year. So it's just, I'm really impressed by the Bills, the Titans, that pass rush, dude. They just don't get after QBs enough to be able to hang in games with their offense not being on the field, not having sustainable drives, not putting up a lot of points. They're just going to be struggling all season, I feel like. 1-5 now. It's just, I don't know where you go, because they signed so many veterans, you know, in hopes to have a baseline of stability, and it's not there right now. So it's just kind of hard with that. I mean, Pollard, this guy, he's been the engine of this team right now. And, you know, you want him to be a compliment. You don't want him to be the guy that is the reason why your offense is moving the ball. You want to be able to have elements that you can have him be in addition. You want him to be a compliment. You don't want him to be the identity. And right now he's the identity. So Titans, they're just going to be struggling against a lot of teams. They might pull off a couple more upsets potentially, but they're going to be underdogs in most games they go into.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on where they go from this, because I think we both talked about it in the preview of the season. If the Titans aren't borderline 500 or like contending for a playoff spot at 1-5, where do you go? Because you invested a lot of money in the salary cap to go and sign veterans like L'Jarius Sneed, like Pollard, like they just traded Hopkins, obviously, so I don't know what they got back for that, probably a third or fourth. But it's tough, bro. It's tough to see this Titans team. They're not really on it's kind of like you're going for – teams either have to fully commit for a rebuild or put all their chips in to win now. Because when you're stuck in this purgatory like you're talking about with a team that's consistently going to be mid, I don't think the Titans are necessarily bad, but
they might get out of purgatory with this season.
Yeah, they're going to have to, bro.
They're looking like they're going to be like a 4 or 5 win team.
I was going to say 5 wins.
4 or 5 wins, yeah. I think they were trying to find out if Will Levis is their guy. They didn't draft him, so he's already not their guy. I think they wanted to find out what his ceiling is. And I mean, we saw the memes from the first 4 weeks of the season. That who Will Levis is. I don't think they want that. So it's just the whole, like, every week, dude. He's just head grabbing, bro, and dude, it's hilarious. But my favorite was the one against the Jets where he's like in the air, like chucking the ball backwards, bro. That screenshot was so damn funny, bro.
I love
It's
whoever
like, what
thought
is
that was a good
who
idea.
let him cook, bro? Like, who let him cook? But
Yeah,
I thought that was the funniest shit ever. But man, Will Levis is hilarious. He's got his Mayo endorsement, so good for him. But
What's the story behind that?
it's because when he was coming out at draft time, I don't know who his agent is. Whoever his agent is pumped the F out of him going into the draft last year because they were like,
dude,
hey, wait a minute, bro.
No Diddy.
Time out,
Chill.
bro. But they pumped him up, bro, to where he was like, oh, he's going to be the 3rd overall pick or 2nd overall pick to the Texans. And he was the favorite to go there. And they were trying to make him likable, talking about his physique and like all this weird stuff that wasn't even about his game. You know, like they were talking about, oh, he's so funny. And the NFL kept posting all these like videos of him. Oh, he's putting mayo in his coffee, or he's just eating brown bananas with the peel on it. And it's like, or he did something with mustard, bro. It was just the weirdest shit ever, bro. And I'm like, why are they like talking about him like this? Like, why? Like, I don't know, dude. They were trying to make him likable and funny, and like he's got this mayo endorsement from putting the mayo in the coffee, but I don't know, dude. It's just weird. It's just all weird to me.
I feel like every year they have a quarterback that the media latches themselves onto and is like, you know what? We are single-handedly going to boost this guy's draft stock by making him seem like the most likable guy of all time. And that's what it sounds like.
I've heard some other pods talk about it. Every year the analysts find their they find their white QB they like. They find their white prototype QB, bro. They had Trubisky, they had Levis, they had Daniel Jones. Who were the other ones? Oh, Mac Jones. It's every single year. There's one of these first round QBs that are like, it's some prototype white QB, bro. And like, did they do anything in college? Where are we getting this high upside ceiling from? And why are we watching videos of him eating brown bananas with the peel on it? Dude, I was so mad about that. I'm like, what is this, bro? Get this off my feed,
pissed
bro.
about the brown bananas.
I was mad, bro. I'm like, dude, get this shit out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was completely weird and totally like bogus, like hype around him. Arm talent, legit.
Yeah.
Talking about him being like a franchise QB, he's a high upside mid-round pick. And he got drafted early in the 2nd round because he got pumped up.
Yeah.
So
I think
he's not their guy though.
Yeah, a guy this year who I think they'll probably do that to is I think
don't say Ewers.
I was gonna say Ewers or Garrett Nussmeier, the LSU quarterback.
Okay.
Nussmeier has a lot of timing throws, a lot of like anticipatory on film. When you see those type of throws being made, you're like, oh shit, this guy's actually big time.
He might be him.
And then you see him throw the most idiotic pick of all time. I'm blanking on who it was. I'm pretty sure it was maybe – I wasn't Arkansas. I'm blanking on who he threw it to. But there was a red zone play where his guy ran a fade, and the corner is literally staring at him and the receiver at the same time. And he throws the ball, and literally like he was not even trying to throw it to his receiver. Just throwing it to the corner on purpose. And I was like –
kind of like Will Levis did to to Jair Alexander in week 3.
Yeah. Like, literally, do not make this throw ever. And he threw the ball. So it's like, I don't know. I think watch for that. Watch Garrett Nussmeier.
We'll get around that to the like draft time. We'll find like the March, guy that they'll find the prototype QB that they're gonna pump up. But I mean, I like Quinn Ewers. We'll get to that around when it's that time. But hey, this 100%. Game, Titans. I like the trenches.
Yeah.
I think the interior the D-line is good. They've invested in the offensive line to hopefully get some good stability with draft picks, but they got a full rebuild they're looking at.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you too long. It's already almost 9, so we'll speed it up just a little bit. Yep. Texans Packers.
Man, it's tough. I really think that Joe Mixon is essential for this team, and I was really happy with the way that he ran the ball. And I think that they need that to be able to sustain drives, score points. But I think there was one possession early in this game that really kind of made the difference. And it was early on when the Texans had to kick a field goal within the red zone, and they didn't get to score a touchdown. Was it off like it was off that interception, that first interception that Love threw, where they got down, I think within the 3-yard line, and they ended up having to kick a field goal, and then they ended up losing the game by 2 points, I believe. They saw the final score, 24-22. Yep, this drive right here, this was the difference in the game. You know, like, you have to be able to put up points versus Jordan Love and this Packers team, because if you let them hang around, name of the game is score more than the opponent. They score a lot of touchdowns. You know, you have to score touchdowns against this team.
Isn't this a drop here? Is this what you're talking about?
I don't know, but this just the whole,
I think Tank Dell dropped
just the drive. You know, like the drive
maybe
in
not.
general, just stalling out within the 5-yard line like this. It's just, you can't do that against this team. You have to score touchdowns. Kicking a field goal here, I would rather have them go for it. You know, you need to be able to score touchdowns and realize who you're playing. You know, because even if you don't get it, you're pinning them within the 5-yard line when they already had the ball in the first point. You're playing with house money.
Yep.
Try to get up big early on. You know, and I think that there's. This is like and then also this kick too after. Do they kick that out of bounds off of a free kick? You know, it's just, there was a few mistakes in this game where I was just like, dude, you're like, you blew it, you know? I think they're the better team. I think that if they have Nico Collins out there, maybe different game, you know, but I just think also too, red zone, you know, like, we don't really see a lot of red zone production from receivers beyond Nico, you know. Stephon Diggs. I almost said Trayvon Diggs. Stephon Diggs. He had those 2 touchdowns week 1, and that was awesome, you know. But it's like, since then, who's winning in the red zone? You know, so it's like, it's Joe Mixon scoring or it's nobody scoring, you know, and that's a problem. So this team has to be better in the red zone. But I do think that I think they're gonna figure that out as the season goes on, and once they get healthy, we'll be good.
Yeah, I'm still 100% on the Texans bandwagon because I think Nico being out is really showing how important he is to this offense. And you talked about it perfectly. Like, they have guys that are compliments. I'm going to use the word compliments a lot because we're going to get to the Jets, and I'm going to use the word compliment a lot in reference to Garrett Wilson. But I think with Nico, you can have an entire offense of passing attack based off him. And the reason that
identity.
Yeah, exactly, the identity. And Stephon Diggs, at this point in his career, he is more of a complementary piece to a Nico Collins, to a Jay Jettas, than a guy that can win by himself. And I think Nico opens up everybody else on this attack because you have to either shade Nico's way or make sure that he's bracketed no matter what, because he's going to win 1v1 every single time.
He is the 1v1 dominator. He is like A.J. Brown. He is like Justin Jefferson. He is like Jamar Chase. Yep. He is that caliber of receiver to where he is physically dominant. If you leave him one-on-one, he will moss you. He will route you up. He will run by you. You know, it's like, you cannot leave him one-on-one. You have to give help to whatever corner is on him. There is no physical matchup in the league. Maybe Tariq Woolen, maybe Sauce Gardner. But even them, you know, it's still this, like, that caliber of receiver, they tilt the entire defense that way to where it makes everyone else's life easier.
Yeah, and it helps Stroud too, obviously, because it's his number 1 receiver, but also because that's his chemistry guy. Like, you talk about Rodgers want to play chemistry ball. Stroud wants to play chemistry ball when he's scrambling, doing unconventional stuff after the play's kind of broken down. His mind goes, where's Nico at? Where's Nico at? I got to find my boy Nico. And Nico does a great job with, I think a great example of this is Travis Kelce. I think when the play breaks down for Mahomes, but Kelce always seems to find a little pocket in the defense where I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit down right here, throw it to me right here, Mahomes. I'm going to take it for a little 11-yard gain, and we'll go on our way. But Nico's that guy for Stroud, you know? When the play breaks down, he's like, all right, I'm going to basically route this guy up again on the scramble drill and then go make a play, you know what I mean? So I think that the Packers on the other side of the ball, the Packers with Jordan Love, I think they just are. Nothing really wowed me this game unless I was also at work during this game. Like, what really worked for this offense in your opinion, and what's gonna kind of be their identity going forward? Do you think
it's just the Texans let them hang around long enough? You know, And the way that Jordan Love gives his receivers ability to make bro. All kinds of technical difficulties,
Bloopers.
Bro. Bloopers. Though Jordan Love is one of these QBs that gives his guys chances to make plays. You know, I love QBs that don't throw the ball away too much. They put the ball in play and give the receivers an opportunity to make a play on the ball. You know, it's like that's good QB play in my opinion. You know, you have to be able to distribute, yes, but you have to be able to put the ball up for them to make a play at times. You have to throw some 50-50s. You have to be able to throw some back shoulders. You have to be able to, on a big down, like we saw against the Cardinals, he just airmailed that ball, and the corner didn't find it. His receiver did. Touchdown. You know, it's like QBs like this that give their guys a chance to make plays. When the other team isn't scoring touchdowns and pulling away, they're going to hang around and have an opportunity to win every game, you know. So I think that Jordan Love is playing really well, still turns the ball over, you know. So that's the thing is that Jayden Reed hasn't dropped this game. He's kind of dipped a little bit in his production, but Romeo Doubs has been really big for them the past couple weeks now as well. And, I mean, they run the ball okay. It's nothing special, but I do think that it's just the way that Matt LaFleur there's nobody you go into the game against the Packers and say, if we stop him, we stop the Packers. And I think that's when you have a play caller like Matt LaFleur, it's a problem. You cannot key in on one guy and say, okay, we're taking away the Packers' number one weapon. They are stopped now. We can go one-on-one with everybody else. He runs the end arounds. He runs the gadget plays. Jordan Love hangs the ball up when he sees one-on-one with his guys like Dobbs, like Christian Watson, even with Jayden Reed too. And Jayden Reed's made some crazy catches this year, you know. So it's just they're never out of the game when the other team is not scoring touchdowns.
I like that you pointed that out because I think the Packers actually benefit more not having that true one like Justin Jefferson, like Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? Like
not every team can do that.
Exactly. And I think LaFleur knows that, hey, we know like our guys, except for minus Romeo Dobbs was the guy I was bitching about targets, right?
Yeah.
Dobbs. Minus Dobbs, everyone on that team, Wicks, Christian Watson,
I think Wicks
Jayden
scored
Reed.
this game.
Yeah, Wicks scored this game. One time I'm not big on Wicks. He scores whatever. Kraft, they have tight ends too. Like they can go make plays. I think there's not a desperate need for targets out of those guys, and it kind of opens up LaFleur's playbook because, like you said, there's not like if you go into a game, you're like, oh, we're gonna shut down Romeo Dobbs. Reed and Christian Watson are go.
You never know
80
who's
plus
getting the
yards,
ball on
touchdown.
whatever play.
Exactly, and they just have such a diverse playbook because of that, and I think it's plays into this Green Bay style of like, dude, they're serious team, a serious team in the NFC. So we'll see. It's a tough division, like we talked about. Are they better than the Lions and the Vikings? I think it remains to be seen. But we'll see how that kind of plays out.
We're not going to know until the end of the season.
Yeah.
We're not going to know until the end of the season when all the divisional games are played. We'll be able to see how it shakes out. But, I mean, I worry about Jordan Love's turning the ball over. I worry about the lack of depth in elite talent at skill position players. I do think that when you are getting turnovers and you do put up touchdowns, not field goals versus this team, they are beatable. I'm really impressed by the way their defense is playing, specifically getting after the QB. That front seven is mad talented, like we talked about coming into the season. But it's just they're kind of living and dying by turnovers in some games, and we'll see how everything shakes out when the season's over and all the division games are played.
I'm with you. You good this game?
Yep.
Let's do it. Next game. I'm not on my phone. Just looking at got the.
Bro's playing Flappy Bird.
What a random ass. You could have said any game, bro. Flappy Bird. What the fuck? Anyways, Bengals Browns. I'll let you take the floor with this. You had a Deshaun take.
He's not that bad.
Trip.
I said that I think he's the most hated player in the league, and he's kind of asked for it in some ways.
No question.
I mean, I think people forget how good he was. I think that he's good at certain things, and people like expected him to come into his Kevin Stefanski offense, and there's a reason why it looked good with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco had pass protection, elite run game, was able to run play action and hit a receiver that relies on timing and route running like a guy like Amari Cooper. There's a reason why Amari Cooper looked good with a QB like Joe Flacco. You know, there's a reason why Josh Downs looks good with a QB like Joe Flacco. Certain receivers rely on timing and volume to be able to produce. Watson is not that style of QB. Is he playing bad and holding back the offense single-handedly? No. I think the skill position players for the Browns are overrated. I think Njoku's good. I think Chubb is good. Who else are you talking about on that offense and saying that they make plays?
Crickets.
You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at the offensive line and all the injuries they've had, and then also the play calling hasn't been good either, no wonder they look bad, you know? And it's like, and then on top of that, they're having untimely penalties. And then everyone's saying, oh, it's Deshaun Watson, like, because they hate him. They chanted, "You deserve it," when he tore his Achilles.
I didn't hear that. I knew they
chanted, "You deserve it," when you, like, okay, some human being, this isn't Bill Cosby, bro. Like, this dude just tore his Achilles, and he's getting on a cart, crying, getting carted off the field because he just lost the season. And they're garbage for organization. I think the fans too, like, you deserve it, honestly, in my opinion. Yeah, Deshaun's got all the cases. Yeah, he got paid, save the money franchise. They traded away Baker Mayfield and sold their soul to try to get a QB to save them. And they deserve it, you know, in my opinion. So shout out Nick Chubb getting in the end zone. Love that dude. Baller. Heartbeat of the team. Face of the franchise. I love Nick Chubb. Too bad he's on a team like them. So
it's so unfortunate.
I think, honestly, Jameis Winston, when he got in, looked good. Why is DTR the backup and not Winston?
We were talking
about that. Did they do that? They literally made that change right before this week. Dude, I was so stressed about that. I had the Browns to get 14 or more points. When they missed that extra point, dude, I was livid. I was so livid, bro. I was like, I cannot believe they just did this. You're only going to get like 2 touchdowns in this game, and you missed the fucking extra point. Yeah. I was lit. They got that 2-point conversion at the end, so that was cool. But, I mean, Joe Burrow getting a win in Cleveland. It's his first time in his career out of 5 games now. Good for him. Whatever. It's a whatever win. I don't think the Bengals are going to be bouncing back. I think this is a season that ends with them firing their head coach. They've had way too many.
Really?
Zach Taylor. They've had way too many slow starts this season. I think they need a change of scenery for their head coach. I think that they need to bring in a different voice. This is just something is not right with this team, and I think that we'll see that more as the season plays out. Joe Burrow's got statistics. Bill Belichick has a famous quote, "Stats are for losers." So I don't really care about his statistics. I care about the record. They've beaten the 1-win Browns, they've beaten the 1-win Panthers, and they've beaten the Giants in a game that they could have lost easily. I don't care about the record. I don't think they're a good team, and I think that's kind of a reflection of the coaching. What are the Broncos doing with all the talent that they have? They don't have a lot of talent. They have more wins than the Bengals, though, and they look like a better team. So, I don't know. I got some takes about both these teams that I think people don't want to hear, but I think Deshaun's not that bad. The Bengals are that bad, and that we're going to see coaching changes maybe with both these teams.
Even if the Bengals get back on track and win 10 games?
They're not going to.
Theoretically.
They're not going to win 10 games. They're going to win 8.
You think?
They're going to win 8 games because they play the Browns again. There's 1 win.
3-4.
They'll get the Steelers once. Ravens swept.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that this team is overrated, and I think people are hanging on to the prior knowledge of who they are instead of just like looking at what's on the field. You know, like when we watch this team outside of the Ravens game, if you remove the Ravens game from the season, what are you impressed by?
I think they put up points. They put up some points in some games. I just think it's really going to be this defense, and it's Trey Hendrickson. I feel bad because he's really the only guy that's a difference maker on this team.
Defensively, yeah.
Defensively, yeah. Yeah. Obviously, the offense is stacked, but they have like, I want to see him like, use Gesicki more. I think you talked about it. I think he's
untapped athletic ability.
He's a freak athlete, and I think with T and Jamar drawing a ton of attention, he's like, what's going on here? DTR just looking like Lamar right here.
He looks like Tyler Huntley, who he looks like.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think, jeez, Louise and Joku. Oh my God! Did you see that drop?
Yeah.
I mean, I was at
drops, bro. That end of the game was ugly.
I was at work during some of these games, so I'm like, I'd like miss like 3 or 4 minutes here and there because I was just like going and doing shit. But
having a job.
Yeah, it's weird. But hopefully one day I can just sit on my ass and talk about sports, and that's my job.
That'd be lit.
Hit that like, subscribe.
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. Follow all this. And we'll get to it. But I appreciate. Whoa! I thought I was getting into the outro already because I was talking about liking and subscribing. Holy shit! Let me pull the brakes real quick. What was I talking about?
We were talking about the Bengals.
Bengals defense
and how overrated they are.
Yeah, I will say I'm not totally against the Bengals being bad. I don't think they're nearly as good as they have been.
No.
But I don't think Deshaun. I think you're getting Deshaun a little bit too much slack.
People don't like him because of the allegations.
I don't like him the way he plays football, brother. He was one of my favorite. He was my favorite player coming out of college. I loved Deshaun at Clemson. That was sick. In Houston, he was the man. Him, Will Fuller, that connection was sick, bro. Hopkins
in his prime.
In his prime, that was sick. Like
David Johnson.
Pooh, man. Flash, man.
Had to make a joke. Cardinals fan over here.
Yeah. Wow. That shit got me. That shit low key hurt a little bit, but David Johnson, another guy that's just like, bro, injuries fuck that guy over so 100%.
Bad. Torn ACL ruined his career.
Yeah, but I'm good with this game. Are you? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we might be looking at coaching changes in both these teams at the end of the season.
Yeah, or at least
if not one of them.
You know how Pete Carroll is not technically done with the organization. He just got moved to a different role. I think Stefanski. Actually, no, they have a really good D coordinator. And what's his face?
Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's good. I just think that the way that this team was quitting at the end of the game, the Browns, even with Winston fighting to try to score and put him back in the game, like the way they were dropping passes, looking disinterested, this team's quitting, and I think that's a bad sign.
Damn.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is talented. Breaking news.
He's pretty good at football.
Yeah, he's good at football.
So, yeah, I'm good at this game, though. Are you good?
Yeah.
Chilling. All right. Moving right along to, man, we gotta really go. Eagles Giants, briefly in
14 pass attempts for Jalen Hurts. Bold take. I think he's mid.
We talked about this. Fuck.
No one wants to say it, but I think Jalen Hurts might just be mid. I think that he might not be that good of a quarterback. You're looking at the offensive line he has in front of him. Bro has A.J. Brown. He has Devontae Smith. Bro has Saquon Barkley. And a defense like he has as well. And, I mean, they're protecting him like Jimmy Garoppolo, bro. 14 pass attempts versus this defense. And I know they scored 28 points. And I know they control the entire game. But, dude, you should be putting up like 40 on that team. And it's just the Eagles have dominated the Giants for years. This is not a new outcome for them. So it's just, I don't know. As the season goes on and they play tougher competition, we're going to see Jalen Hurts get exposed, I believe. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts loves throwing his size. He's got big receiver, big tight end. Doesn't know what to do with the rest of the offense. Saquon Barkley had, I don't know how many carries, but he had 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. And didn't talk that much shit. Respect to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Giants, go ahead, bench Daniel Jones. Drew Lock, save us. Not going to happen.
Bro, that's such a, they're going between Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, bro. Your franchise is in the fucking bin.
And they're gonna fire Brian Dable and blame him for why they suck. And it's like, dude, how about the team building? Yeah. You literally stripped this team apart from where they were at in the playoffs 2 years ago. You stripped the team apart, and the players weren't old. It's not like the players were old and you just couldn't work with them. It's like, bro, literally tore this team down for seemingly no reason and let guys go that they drafted. Homegrown talent with Xavier, the safety Xavier McKinney and Saquon Barkley. You let homegrown talent leave. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Giants and what they're doing in terms of team building.
Yeah.
They're going to blame Brian Dable. I don't think it's on him, though.
They talked about it on the PFF podcast, the Giants GM's son being like,
yeah, that was hilarious.
Dude, Jane Daniels is like once in a you only get to be GM for so long. You gotta these
Get
type
a
of players
QB
don't,
like that.
yeah, these type of players don't come around often. And
Yeah.
he was 100% right. So
Future GM right there.
hey, listen to the 15-year-olds, maybe. Listen to us, fuck.
Yeah.
But
I'll be pretty good in my Madden franchises, bro.
honestly,
I know what's good.
it's pretty good practice. Obviously not.
It's crazy. I've actually made like same moves that like the Bears actually made. Like I'd play like years into the
Shut
future,
up.
and
No way.
I'd make like the same moves the Bears would make. It was pretty crazy, bro.
Damn.
Like signing players in certain trades and shit. It was kind of cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
but
pretty fire.
yeah.
We should get
I don't play anymore though, but when I was playing, it was kind of sick.
Yeah. So much real life fucking sucks. Actually working and stuff, but
Yeah.
anyways, I just think anyways, this Eagles team, they're good. Don't get me wrong. I think this defense
Talented. I
they're
would
very
say.
talented. I'm
Bad
with you
coaching.
though. I'm with you on Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's in the offense with Jason Kelce helping him out with protection and stuff like that. I think he was made to seem a lot better than he is.
This O line's really talented too, man. This is like a top 5 O line.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. But I think when it's him at the helm, he doesn't make the best decisions. And I don't trust his decision making 100%.
I don't either.
I don't think that he takes care of the football the way he does. I think there was the first game of the season he threw a pick where I was like, dude, the hell was that? It was backed up in his own end zone. Threw it kind of, I think it was like a seam route to Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And guy undercut it. I think it was McKinney undercut it. And I was like, dude, that was never there. Like, what were you looking at? But they have Saquon, and he can take that pressure off Hurts to only complete or attempt 14 passes. You know what I mean?
Saquon behind that O line is sick.
Yeah, and I mean, this is, I don't know what we were thinking in our preview. Like, this is such an obvious Saquon game, revenge game in freaking New York.
I thought the Giants would be better prepared to stop him with the front seven they had.
He was running angry, though, bro. That truck he had that first quarter was disgusting.
Yeah, and then he did the same thing he does every week, ripping off a 50-yard run. Him and Derrick Henry, bro.
Yeah, he had like 3 30-plus runs.
Yep.
It was insane. But, yeah, moving right along, I think we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to get to. So let's go to
bounce.
Seahawks-Falcons.
Seahawks played a weaker front seven, and they moved the ball and got explosive playmakers, and nobody can match up with DK Metcalf. And Kenneth Walker versus a weaker front seven looks really good. And Kirk Cousins is kind of a sitting duck in the pocket, disaster waiting to happen. Anybody touches him, and he's like that clip that we've seen of him in the past where he was with Washington, and the snap got bounced up in the air, and he caught the ball and then handed it to the running back, and the running back gets killed. That's like Kirk Cousins in a nutshell. I mean, I feel like that's him whenever he gets hit by a defender. He's like just a fumble, a strip sack waiting to happen. Arm strength still not there. Michael Penix threw a pass in the game.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, damn, that's pretty sick, actually. But
I wonder if we're going to see him at some point this season. That's kind of my takeaway from this game is I wonder if at some point we're going to see Michael Penix, whether it's Kirk gets hurt, they look at the kind of sitting duck that is Kirk Cousins and missing throws like that as well, and wonder what the offense would look like with Penix, whether they're close to playoffs, on a losing streak, however it comes about. I think that we're going to see Penix at some point is what my takeaway is.
yeah, I think you got this game right, and I had I don't know, I thought the Seahawks were going to be able to put up points. We had the one.
Thought the Falcons would too, though.
Yeah, I just think that Falcons were able to keep pace with them. I thought they had the pieces. Kenneth, he was questionable going into this game with like an illness. Seemed perfectly fine to me, bro. He had like 25 fantasy points. Yeah, Jordan flu game.
The flu game on the Falcons.
Talk your shit, Haynes. But that catch he had over the shoulder. Whoo,
Dual threat.
I told you, bro, they're going to use
He's
him
a
a
weapon.
lot more in the passing game, too. He's a true third down back.
He gets a lot of receptions because they're not able to run the ball and have any kind of identity on offense because that offensive line is weak, you know? So they're throwing in the ball a lot. Like he had 7 and 8 receptions the 2 weeks before this game. And then I think he had about like 2 or 3 this game, but a good catch over the shoulder in the red zone. Dime by Geno. Geno has he's really aggressive, and I like that about him. But yeah, it's just I think the Seahawks are very a matchup dependent team.
Hey,
Dime by Geno though, stepping up, sliding away from pressure, and then throwing on off platform. I think it's pretty impressive by Geno. But
Oh, yeah.
I think the Seahawks are just a matchup dependent team, 100%.
Yeah,
Same with the Falcons, too.
I can't wait for a Seahawks Cardinals game, bro. I think there's a lot of points to be scored there.
We'll see. That Cardinals front might be able to give the Seahawks some problems with how the Seahawks O-line is bad, bro. That right tackle been a problem all season. And I mean, even that play, he had to make Geno move.
Yeah.
Geno has no clean pockets.
Yeah, it's sad because he's pretty
He's
fucking
not playing
decent.
bad.
He's decent when he
He's
has
decent.
protection. Yeah. Geno Smith or Jalen Hurts, real quick before we move on.
I'll take Geno.
Really, right now?
Yeah, I'll take Geno. I think Geno's doing more with less. I think the offensive line that Hurts has all day to sit in the pocket and then decide if he wants to run. And he has athletic ability to run. And he's not maximizing what he has in front of him. I think Geno low-key is. He turns the ball over, though. Both of them do, though.
Yeah.
Low-key.
Low-key.
Low-key, Geno might be better QB than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a bottom third of the league QB.
Wow.
About
Crazy takes here.
He's around that, if not.
Dolphins Colts, real quick.
Anthony Richardson, bust.
Too early for me to call him a bust. He's so young. But I will say, my one thing with the AR-15, do not let him walk. Sign him to not a huge, crazy contract extension.
2, maybe 3 more years on rookie.
On rookie deal. After that, if he gets traded or they let him walk, watch out for this guy to be like, go to a new team like, who's a guy that did that? Like Breeze. He's on the Chargers, right? Went to the Saints. All of a sudden, boom, freaking MVP, Super Bowl MVP, wins the Super Bowl, and is going to be in the Hall of Fame now. Like, rejuvenize his career at a later date when he's more mature. I think he's way too young and not mentally, like, think about it, bro. They say what? Your frontal lobe.
You don't develop until 25 to 28 as a man, yeah.
He's 20 trying to read NFL defenses that are trying to kill him every single week. Give the dude a little bit of a break. I'm not saying that he's playing good. I think he's playing like shit. But I think there's a little bit of leeway, I think, that he needs to have in terms of just the talent that's there. That's just like so raw. Because he was a raw guy coming out of freaking Florida.
They said the same thing about Trey Lance.
Way different players, in my opinion. Way different players. I think Trey Lance
is he that much of a different player though?
I think
he's more athletic.
Yeah, and I think there are flashes where I'm like, dude, that's an insane throw. Like,
yeah,
fit in that window. You know what I mean?
Trey Lance had a couple throws too.
Maybe you're right. Remains to be seen. But, yeah, I just think this Colts team is very good. They're missing Buckner still.
JT.
Yeah, and oh my god, they're just banged up injuries, man. It's tough to see these good teams go down with injuries. But I don't know. Dolphins are in fucking shambles too. What are they gonna
There was
do?
a clip I saw of like a Dolphins receiver. I don't know who it was, number 80 or 83. I don't know what was up with this, bro. Mike McDaniel was walking towards him on the sideline and ended up talking to another player, but dude's flipping him off. Bro, like he was actually flipping off Mike McDaniel. Bro, I'll have to send you the clip on Instagram, bro. He literally was like doing the whole middle finger eye scratch thing, looking straight at him, and then puts it down. I'm like, whoa, dude, you flipping off the head coach? What's your problem, bro? I don't know.
Like
I thought
fifth grade?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's crazy, bro. So I don't know what's up with the Dolphins, dude. I think when Tua gets back, with or without him, bro, L team. Defense, boo-boo. Offense, out of sync. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, non-factors so far. I mean, you got to be able to get on the ball in space, bro, and they can't do it without competent QB with Tua. I don't think he's great, but I don't think there's a lot of great QBs in the league right now. He's kind of just one of many, you know. So I think it's just Dolphins, kind of effed. Colts, JT coming back, good O-line, good weapons, would look better with Flacco.
Yeah, I think it's just in terms of running the system right now, like you touched on, Josh Downs. These guys are on-time guys, like
on time, volume guys.
Very, very like have to be structured in a structured offense with the ball getting out at a certain time. Anthony Richardson's more like fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing, like Miles Morales in this bitch, and just gonna try to play make and throw the ball 80 yards downfield, and then next play just trying to juke out 3 guys and try to get a first down. Like, it's just.
I don't blame the Colts for drafting him, but my hot take is after seeing, this is my Kirk, don't hurt me play, you know. He always has a lot of these. But I think my bold take about Anthony Richardson, Trey Lance.
Wow.
I think he's around Trey Lance right now. I don't see it from him. I think you have to have a certain amount of. There's the whole old Bill Parcells quote of saying that their quarterback has to have like 30 or like 3 seasons or 30 starts under him in college to be able to be playing in the NFL. Richardson had like a season and he was getting benched as well. You know, so he's talented, physically talented freak. Belongs in the NFL. Competent QB. He looks like Trey Lance to me. Damn. Unfortunate for the Colts.
Yeah.
They look better, but they look better with Flacco.
They do, and it's sad, bro. But hey, I think with time, maybe give him 30 NFL starts. I don't know.
That's what people thought about Trey Lance too. You got to be able to. You either have it or you don't. When you get in the NFL, you don't have time to figure it all out because you're gonna get benched, you're gonna get hurt, or they're gonna move on from you.
Yep. I'm good with this game. Are you?
Yep.
Let's move on to Panthers Commanders. No Jay
Panthers
Daniels?
defense can't stop nobody. Offense is predictable because the offensive line is banged up now. Dalton turning the ball over. And Commanders just doing what everybody does against the Panthers defense. Much to say.
Marcus Mariota. I feel like I was watching Mariota back at Oregon.
I mean, everybody looks like that when they play the Panthers defense.
Prime Zach Ertz was reincarnated for this game.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone looked good. I legitimately
everybody looks good against the Panthers, bro.
Brian Robinson Jr.'s he's a legit piece for the Commanders, though.
Every time they handed the ball off, it was like 6 yards, bro. Every single time.
But he does that with everybody.
I know he does, but I was saying this game, I was just like every handoff,
so
it's like 6 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards, touchdown.
I was looking at the rushing props for Jaden Daniels before this game. I was just like, what do they have him at? Just
the over probably hit.
Over hit first play almost. It was 50.
Yep.
He had a 47-yard run, and then I don't know if he got 3 yards after that, but yeah, it's just
Kirko.
Big Kirko. Damn. Oh shit.
Seahawks walked into their trap and took over their trap. One might say.
Hey, they did. Big Kirko. That's got to be a catch though. Fuck's sake, Drake London. That's bad, bro.
Let's bounce off this Colts game. Oh, what are we on now? We were talking about like a different game now.
Yeah,
let's get out of this Colts game.
Look at drop. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Kirko.
Big Kirko. Raiders Rams. Another pull.
AOC got hurt. I like that the Raiders fans call him AOC. I think it's pretty funny. Aiden O'Connell. He got hurt. Out for the game. Gardner comes in. Gardner does what Gardner does. Rams. Talking about trading Cooper Kupp. Kyron Williams did his thing. Receivers kind of mid for the Rams, but did enough to win a game that they got a defensive touchdown in.
Yeah.
Either team going to do anything this year?
No.
So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, we're talking about Cooper Kupp. I was texting you last night. When I saw that the news he might get traded. I don't like to say it, but I mean, I was going to say, like, he looks like a Packer, bro. Like, I think, like, in terms of a team that could use a guy like him, they would probably excel with Matt LaFleur, bro. They would be able to do the scramble drill and the chemistry passes, bro. It's like, dude, Cooper Kupp, I think he looks like a Packer to me, bro. My dad said Chargers. I think either one. People talking about the Chiefs. Chiefs just traded for Hopkins. Cooper Kupp looks like a Packer to me.
Yeah, I think, honestly, either of those. In the teams on the list, they would like. Chiefs got Hopkins, so they're probably out for the race for Kupp. But fuck, bro, they could go. There are so many teams that need a receiver right now, like Kupp, and I think Packers would be great.
I think a contender trades for him.
Yeah,
contender is somebody who wants to make the playoffs, has a QB already.
Imagine
they're not going to go to a young. He's not going to go to a young QB. He's going to go to a team that wants to have an edge.
Yeah, do you think like an AFC team probably, just because Packers or Rams don't want to see I don't know.
I mean, Packers are known for trying to draft and develop. I think they could get a guy though like that. I think that's where he should go. My opinion, in terms of just being like non-biased. I think he should go to the Packers. I think he would fit in so well with them.
Fair.
Veteran too, in that young receiver core.
Raiders after this game decided to fix their problems and sign Desmond Ridder, the guy that got cut from the Cardinals training camp squad. He is
clown.
The worst quarterback in the league, probably.
He is the worst quarterback in the league.
He is.
Tim Boyle exists.
Yeah, true. We talked about that. That was so funny. PFF, you'll never probably see this, but if you do, that shit was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about Tim Boyle weeks ago, bro. I was like, I hate watching him play football. Why is he on an NFL team?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, bro.
Yeah, but
much to say about this game?
Nope. Chiefs, Niners.
I have a thing that I needed to say about this whole, like, not hitting Mahomes thing. You know, like, as a defense, like defensive coaches, how do you not come into the game and say he does all these little pump fakes, he does all these little sideline moves, he does all these little bullshit ass fakes, and it's like these guys they get baited by it every time. You don't do that. You say, okay, he wants to go ahead and do these little pump fakes and everything like that. Whether he throws it or not, we're hitting him. You know, like, we're not doing bounty gate. This ain't no bounty gate. This is, we're going to punish him for doing all these little gimmicky moves. You know, and defensive coaches, they're not doing that, and it drives me insane, bro. Like, how are you not going into game prep against the Chiefs and going, we're going to hit this QB when he gets out of the pocket and he wants to move around, we're punishing him. You know, like, you don't let QBs do this, especially guys like Mahomes or like a Jaden Daniels or like any of these QBs that are mobile and have mobility, do these like pump fakes, dance around, read options. Like, you punish QBs for doing these, because if they're acting like they got the ball, you treat them like they got the ball, you know? And as defensive coaches, it drives me insane that they don't do that when they come into games against the Chiefs.
I am so glad you brought this up, because my fucking dad hates the whole pump, whatever. Act like I'm going to run out of bounds. Stay in bounds.
It's like the fake slide.
We're on the same page, because I thought of Kenny Pickett at Pitt.
Dude. You don't let them do that.
Kenny Pickett at Pitt, when he fake slid, I was like, dude, I'm sorry. If I'm a DB in that moment, if Mahomes is ball faking, yeah, obviously, light his ass up. Do not fall for the ball fakes. But if he's running out of bounds and there is one single cleat that is on green,
it's legal.
It's legal. Hit him. He is not going to do that shit anymore. If you
drives me insane, bro.
Especially on your own sideline, you light that motherfucker up on your own sideline and stand over him. I'm taking the 15 yards. I guarantee you,
you're going to get penalized if you were a time or two. You take it. Because if he's going to act like the ball, you treat him like he has the ball.
And what's 15 yards if you're going to give up a 30-yard run after that? You know what I mean?
Because you hit him a couple times when he does that. You give him a good smack, bro, and like he's gonna go, oh, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta dictate to them how the game is gonna go. You don't let Mahomes do all these little fakes and everything like that. You like I'm saying, bro, if he wants to act like he has the ball and he wants to keep the ball, you treat him like he has the ball every play, bro, and you punish him for that.
He did that.
Defenses don't do that, and it drives me nuts, bro.
He did that, against the Texans in the playoffs a few years ago when he was running down the sideline and then little spin move, if you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about?
There's some moves where I'm just like, yeah, dude, like that's instinctual. Like he's faking dudes out. But it's the pumps, bro. Like the downfield, past the line of scrimmage. Like what, dude? Like man, that should get like grinds my gears, bro.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because it was one of my pet peeves and one of my dad's pet peeves too, because like they're so afraid of giving up that 15-yard penalty, right? That
take the penalty, bro.
They're giving up a 20-yard run after. What's the difference?
Don't worry about, this isn't bounty gate. This isn't like we're going to hurt him, but this is we're going to punish him for making the decisions that he makes, you know? And as a defense, you have to do that. You know, that's why I love the Bears, because they at least like hit, you know? Texans, they hit. They don't sit back. Vikings too. They hit the QB, bro. They don't do all this like little dilly-dallying like, oh, is he going to run? Is he going to not? No, we're hitting him either way. You know, I love the defenses that do that and dictate to the opponent how the game is going to go.
Yeah.
And watching the Niners do that just disgusts me, bro. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this game, Chiefs get a dub. Whatever, bro. Trade for Hopkins. Okay, they got a receiver with Hollywood Brown that tore his shoulder, and now he's going to be out for the season. And then they have Rashee Rice blowing out his ACL, and he's out for the season. And they trade for a receiver who has a torn meniscus already and is playing through it. Whatever. Juju Smith-Schuster comes out, hamstring injury immediately, plays through it, gets hurt again. Whatever, dude. I don't know. I can't wait for some team to just come in and smack the Chiefs, bro, because they're just playing with all this gimmicky BS, bro. Like, I can't wait till they play like an actual defense that just comes after them, bro.
I would love to see them play the
these
Ravens.
Lame ass little flops, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
I hate flopping, bro. Flopping is like the most disgusting thing to me, bro. It's just so lame, corny. Kickers and punters,
keep it in soccer, brother.
Keep it in soccer, bro.
Yeah.
Keep it in soccer. Keep it in basketball.
Yeah.
Get it out of football, bro.
Yeah. Let's move on real quick. We got 3 games left in about 10 minutes. Let's roll.
If anything, bro, I can hit on the Jets and Steelers, bro. Like, we'll hit on that game pretty good. Niners. We'll talk about this really quick. Missed opportunities. Red zone, interception. Missed throws, interception. Ayuk dropping the ball. Weapons banged up. It's just the issue is that everyone's going to talk about Brock Purdy. Oh, how much money does he deserve because he's coming up in a contract year after this year. It doesn't matter about that. Any QB who you have with offensive players that are not out there or not reliable, they're going to have games where they struggle, and against a defense like the Chiefs that is pressuring the QB really well. That guy 56, Karlaftis, bro, is playing really well, bro. And I think I'm the most impressed by him this season, in my opinion. Like, Karlaftis, I did not see this from him last year. 10 sacks. Felt like cleanup sacks. It didn't feel like this where he's dominating tackles, getting after the QB, bro. And I'm really impressed with him. Leo Chanel looks really great. Nick Bolton. They got some young pieces they've drafted to work with in that front seven. So, I mean, this team, defensive team right now, yes. Mahomes not playing well, yes. Gimmicky is, yes. I can't wait till they play an actual defense, just get smacked around, bro, because they deserve that, bro. Yep. They're asking for it with the way they play.
Yeah, Jets Steelers.
I can't wait till what's his name gets finally hurt. Like, what's his name? The tackle. Tyron Smith. Okay, he's playing through an injury. You see the brace on his right knee. He's been getting whooped around the edge with speed multiple times, like a game throughout the season. And it's like he's injured. He's playing hurt. I just hope for the meme that they sign David Bakhtiari, bro. I just want to see him sign David Bakhtiari, and then they'll bring in Pat McAfee to be the punter or something like that, and bring back in AJ Hawk. I want them to just sign every Packer just to try to please Rodgers, and then go 6 wins or whatever. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, the team itself though, Breece Hall looks good. Receiving specifically, they can't run the ball consistently. He's a guy you get the ball in space. Looks good. Trade Mike Williams, free that man. Garrett Wilson, he's a 2. I have this take that I've said to you. You're going to talk about Garrett Wilson. I've had this take about him. I watched Allen Robinson come into the Bears as a good receiver off an ACL injury and just vanish, fall off the face of the earth, plays gone, goes to their team, practice squad receiver after. He was a good player, but when you're playing with bad QB play and you're going hitch route, slant, stop, screen, and then maybe every once in a while you get a go ball on the sideline. It's like over the past 2 years we've seen Garrett Wilson play with Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Mike White. We're seeing him play with these QBs that cannot function in an actual NFL offense and have timing and rhythm and consistently move the ball down the field and get their guys the ball. And now you're seeing him come into this season and he's seems like he's lost his confidence, he's lost his swag, he's dropping passes, and it's just he doesn't look like the same receiver that was coming out of Ohio State, And I mean, I saw this with Allen Robinson. Dude ran the most hitch routes in the league in 2019 or 2020. And then all of a sudden, the next year or two, he's just disinterested. He's lost his love for the game, and he's just not the same player. He's a shell of himself. And I mean, when you got bad QB play you're playing with for a while, you kind of forget how to do things. Because, I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson not playing well. He didn't play for damn near 2 years. Missed an entire season, played a couple games, got hurt, and then is out for the rest of the season. You know, this is Garrett Wilson basically not running an effective offense for 2 years. And then, oh, yeah, Rodgers come in and make him look good at 41 years old. I don't think it's surprising that we're seeing it look the way it is.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Garrett Wilson. I know you said he's a true 2.
He's a 2.
I got so much hate. I posted a TikTok about this. I got so much hate for saying this guy is a top tier 2 and not a 1 from a bunch of casuals. And my reasoning was he doesn't have the ball skills to be a true number 1 receiver, and he's also not built like he's not built like an AJ Brown. Like he's not built like these guys where he can consistently take that wear and tear and make contested catches every single time. And when he does have a contested catch opportunity, what does he do? Straight body catches. I was going to compare it. Shout out Cameron Ramirez, one of my best buddies I've known since I was 5 years old, right? When we played flag football together, Cameron, I know you know what I'm talking about. My dad and shout out Baylor too, were the coaches. Cameron, every single time I threw him the ball, I played quarterback, right? Every time I threw him the ball, he would jump and catch with his body. You know what I mean? And we had to beat that habit out of him up until he was like 12, 13 years old. This started at like 9. I'm not kidding. Garrett Wilson catches like 9-year-old Cameron Ramirez, jumping, catching the ball with his body. I shit you not. When I saw Garrett Wilson playing primetime, and every single one of his catches, besides maybe one, were straight body catches. Rodgers isn't Josh Allen. The ball's not coming in at 100 miles an hour. Rodgers can sling that thing, but Garrett Wilson, there's no reason that as an NFL receiver should be relying on that ball that he fucking dropped that led to a pick. Hit him in the chest. Say what you want about Rodgers' play. He might not be playing the greatest football right now. Garrett Wilson, coming into the season, we saw the training camp highlights. Deep bomb, deep bomb, deep bomb.
I don't want to hear nothing with the highlights, bro. Everybody reads into that stuff. That ain't nothing, bro. We got to see it on the field.
Hey, well, last season, too, he put up, 1,000 yards with Zach Wilson as his quarterback? Like, he was come into this year.
Remember how he looked in week 1, though? Last year? He had that crazy touchdown against the Bills.
Yeah.
That player's gone. That player that was that is gone.
And I think you're right. I think you're 100% on the nose with the bad QB play kind of gets you out of rhythm about what's...
You forget how to be the receiver that you were because you're constantly trying...
There's Mahomes play.
Yeah.
Everyone saw that on the TV, but...
They know what we're talking about.
They know what we're talking about. But I can't get over that Garrett Wilson is a true 2, and I don't think he's a bad player. I just think this fucking bullshit.
Like, what is he pumping for? He's 12 yards down the field.
What is this? Yeah. Bro,
you punish him, bro. Anyway, Jets, bro.
Yeah, the run after catch, though, is there. He's there. Hey, Garrett Wilson, run after the catch. No question. Elite.
Get him some tunnel screens. Get him a stop route. Let him break a corner down. Get 20.
He's not a wide receiver 1.
He tracks the ball down the field really well. Deep ball.
So does J-Mo.
I don't know about that. I think Garrett Wilson's different caliber. I know you talked about he's kind of like very similar type of player to him, but I think that Garrett Wilson's a different caliber receiver than Jameson Williams. I think Jameson Williams is a track star, bro. Like, dude's crazy fast. I think he just separates to where it's like he's probably gonna catch the ball. Garrett Wilson's different at tracking the ball down the field. When was the last time we saw him down the field over the shoulder catching a pass?
Yeah, or just catching the ball with his hands. I want you to go back and watch Garrett Wilson film whenever you have a chance. Watch him and the way he catches the ball. It's jumping with his body.
I agree.
It's
hitting his pads.
It's almost absurd how much it happens, and it's not just him. A lot of people do it nowadays. And this. Never mind. I'm not even give that guy the time of day. But there's a guy in this freaking comment section that was just bro lives in there. He was talking about watch this Theo Ash video about talking about how the body catch is a myth and how it's bad. I was like, you were showing me 3 examples of a contested body catch that
He's probably a desk worker at Mountainside, bro.
Yeah, fuck those guys. But
He's probably just a desk worker on my outside. Dude's never played football.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm. Probably, bro. Probably. Yeah, but
What's it called? Body kind of clown a little bit. Body catching is fucking. It's not a myth, bro. It's real. Receivers can't do it. Ball hits in your pads, bounces off. Everybody's seen it for years, bro. You're not supposed to do that.
yeah, it's. Yeah, you good? You
I'm
gotta
out
go,
to bounce, bro.
dude.
Hey, bro. Jets. I think the season's toast. Aaron Rodgers washed. Devontae Adams got whooped by the Steelers 2 times in a row. Hilarious. What were we gonna say? Baker Mayfield, dog. Lamar Jackson, dog. Shout out Rashad Bateman. Fuck Chris Godwin getting hurt. Horrible.
Yep.
Bucky Irving, compliment. Accent, maybe one might say. Accent, one might say. Sterling Shepard, gonna ball out. He's the number 1 now.
McMillan and Sterling
I like
Shepard,
Sterling. McMillan's kind of garbo. Sterling Shepard,
what?
good. Cardinals, Chargers, who cares? I'm out.
Chargers. Hey, one more thing.
Smash the like button. Hit subscribe.
Chargers, Cardinals. Hey, go Kyler. Rushing touchdown. Got to get Marvin Moore involved.
Whatever.
Quick summary. Chargers. They got to give Justin Herbert some love. He's balling out. They're not helping him all. Chargers, I think, should trade for Cooper Kupp if it's not the Packers.
Justin Herbert looks good. Marvin Harrison is Devontae Adams, but Kyler Murray doesn't play well with him because Kyler Murray is not able to throw the type of passes that Rodgers was.
Yep. Boom. Follow the TikTok. Follow the Instagram at Let's Talk Ball _podcast. We'll get the setup. We'll get right. Hopefully Hayden's on the pod next week as the review. Randy, as always, appreciate you, brother. Hey. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.